Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I just wanted to do a short video on this article I found. It says, from the expose, it says, Australian health authorities deny mother heart transplant because she is, let's just say, untouched in here. But you can see the word there. And this is from February 17th of this year. So let's just get into it. It says, health authorities in Victoria, Australia have denied a mother of two a heart transplant for being untouched. She had received a medical exemption not to have, taken the thing, as you can see there. The word that begins with C and the word that also begins with I, right? She has a medical exemption, right? Not to have it. She did not receive, almost said that. She did not receive the V because she is concerned that doing so could increase her risk of heart conditions such as, I don't know if I can say that word, but I'm not going to say those two words, but you can see those two words there as well. The word there that begins with M and the other word right there that begins with a P. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe those are heart inflammations. So continuing, it says, in 2020, Vicky, I'm struggling to say this woman's name, Duridian, if that's her name, had a severe heart failure and had to have a ventricular assistant device surgically implanted to help pump blood throughout her body. She was hospitalized for months undergoing rehabilitation and has only recently been deemed healthy enough to undergo heart surgery should a suitable donor organ become available. However, under Victoria's Department of Health and Human Services, being untouched means that this woman, Vicky, is ineligible to be put on the transplant waiting list. So like I said earlier, she has a, medical, she's fears for her heart, so that's why she didn't take the thing. So she has medical exemption, but because of the way they have things over there in Australia, she is ineligible to be put on the transplant waiting list because she has been untouched. So we see that she didn't do an action, therefore we can't provide a service for you. We'll get into what I mean by that later. But I'll say it again, she refused to do an action, therefore they don't provide a service for her. But continuing in the article, it says the hospital stance at the moment is no yab, no heart. So you don't roll up your sleeves, you don't get no heart. All right, transaction, an exchange of something. I'm ready to be on the heart transplant list because medically I'm stable to be on it. But unfortunately, because of these mandates, it has interfered with patient-doctor relationships, she told Channel 9's Today News. Patients like myself were being pushed into a corner and coerced to take something that goes against what we believe in. She added, or not receive life-saving treatment, and also for doctors as well. And also for doctors as well, they are forced to implement this on their patients, otherwise they'll lose their jobs, right? Okay, so let's go into the scriptures. All right, so this is the time that we're in, and this article proves and brings to life what the scriptures are saying. This is why we use articles from certain websites. It's not going to Esau or whatever, I believe one or two individuals, when they were going into the MOTB from WFI, were like, they were pretty much saying that we shouldn't use articles in so many words. They didn't directly say that, but in so many words, they say, it's, why are we using articles to, for the scriptures and things like that? Well, the articles, although the scriptures don't need the articles, but the articles bring to life what we're trying to say, what the scriptures are saying. So I'll read it. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Who is the he? The he is Esau Edom, but it's not just one person or one man. It's the top banking families, or if you will, the elites, or the Illuminati, if you will, right? That is the he. It's not one person, but it's a group of men. Top banking families, the Illuminati, right? We should all know that. Many people are talking about the Illuminati at this point. It's not a secret anymore. It's not taboo to talk about. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, when you go into that word killed, obviously it means, to obviously kill, but it has a second definition. And this is why we look up words in the blue letter, because it brings life and explains what's going to happen and what the scriptures are saying, what the Heavenly Father is trying to tell us. Or not trying to tell us, but telling us. This is why we use the blue letter. Going into words are important. It paints the image of what's happening right now as we're living in it. What's the word? Is this the word? No. Okay. Now, when you go to the root word of this word, it says of separation, right? The B definition of separation from a part from the whole, right? So if you don't, as we're seeing right now, an example of that or a prelude to what they want to do in the future, if you don't roll up your sleeves and take this thing, even though she has a medical exemption because of the issue with her heart, they don't care. If you don't roll up your sleeve and take this thing, you are now separated from the whole. And the whole is what? Society. We're not going to give you or perform the service of a heart transplant on you unless you roll up your sleeve and take this thing. If you don't take this thing, roll up your sleeve and take this thing, we can't perform this service for you. That's the only way. And now what? She is now separated because other people, if they've rolled up their sleeves, they have access to that. So they are what? They are a part of the whole. But because she didn't refuse that because of, medical reason, because of her heart, because she denies doing that because of what she believes in. I believe it said in the article as well. She is now what? Separated from the whole. She is separated from society. She's separated from partaking of things or getting access to certain things in society. She is not a part of the whole. So that's what it also means by killed. You are now separated from the whole. All right, let's go back to the rest of the article. And I believe, I'm not going to play the video, but I believe that's the woman right there on the right-hand side with the glasses. It says the manipulative language from former Deputy Chief Health Officer Dr. Nick Coatsworth is disgusting. It's coercive, threatening, and a chilling reminder of the medical tyranny populations of the world have been subjected to since the sea era began. It is not the first time he has been used to coerce people to get, roll up their sleeve against their will and better judgment. Coatsworth was one of the experts Virgin Australia employed in August 2022 to drum in, rolling up your sleeve is safe and effective when airline staff raised safety concerns, right? So that's all I want from this article. Yeah, that's all I wanted. So going back, so what do we see with this situation with this woman, right? She doesn't take the thing. She doesn't roll up her sleeve, right? It said no yab, no heart. She doesn't do that. She cannot be a part of society. She's separated from getting the benefits of society, right? So that's what we see here. She doesn't do something. They don't do something for her, right? She is separated from getting medical access as from other people who would get medical access because they have taken the thing. So now let's go to 16. So we see what an action is happening, right? She didn't do something, which is an action. They don't do something for her, which is also an action. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, which again, the he is not just one man, but it's the elites, the top banking families of Esau, Edom, which are so-called white men. That's what they have called themselves today, right? The Illuminati. And he calls it all, right? And that word "cause it" is what? It is poeo, which means to what? It says a definition: form, fashion. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. With the names of things made to produce, construct, form, fashion, to make ready, prepare. Where's the other definition? It says to make one to do something, right? So how do they make people, or form, fashion, or prepare the people to take something against their will? Because she was saying that she feels it's like coercion to do something against her will, against her better judgment. So how do they do perform the act of poeo, which is to form, fashion, or make one to do something? False flags. False flags create problems in society. Once you have a problem in society, you now need a solution in society, and then they bring the solution. And therefore, what the solution now, the solution that they have brought to society now is what forms or fashions the minds and the lives of people to what they want it to be now. I'll say that one more time, a little bit slower. How do they perform the act of poeo, which is to form, fashion, or make people to do something? Through false flags. False flags create problems in society. Once you have a problem in society, you need a solution. They then come with the solution, and that solution now forms or fashions the minds of the people in society and the people's lives in society to do what they want them to do, to fashion the minds of people in society to what they want it to be, to execute their new world order. Lord's willing, I said that perfectly for you to understand. So that is the cause it, right? And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. So it says both small and great, right? So, people at top, people at the bottom, rich and poor. I don't have to explain that. Rich people, poor people. Free and bond, people who walk, who think they're free in this world, and people who are in jail. That's the bond. To receive a charagman, right? That word mark is charagma. Oops, went to the wrong word. As you can see there, a stamp, an imprinted charagma, a thing carved, sculpture, graven work. So what does charagma mean? Basically to cut into something, right? Because that's what you do when you carve. When you carve like or chisel something like a statue, you're cutting into the rock to chisel it out, right? But how do you sculpt or carve something? You need a tool to do so. So when you go into the root word of charagma, which is to basically like to chisel or etch, right? Which is basically to cut into something. The root word of charagma is karax, which the word there is a pale stake or palisade, right? Which a pale stake or palisade is a sharp object, right? So what would be the modern day sharp object that's used to cut into something? As far as for the medical world, right? It would be the syringe, right? Because they said what? No yab, no heart. So if in order for her to get the yab, what? She has to have something cut into her flesh, right? Which is the syringe. So the syringe would be the karax, and the syringe, once it cuts into her flesh, would be performing what? The act of charagma, which is the cutting into the flesh, making it easy for you to understand. And then the root word of karax is grapho, which is to write with references, to write with reference to the form of the letters. To where is it? The B definition says to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record. So obviously the snake bite is not going to have records down, but what the implantable device that they want to come out with in the future, that will have your information down on it. That will have your records, your social security, your bank information, and so forth, whatever, your driver's license, things like that. It's your all your identification is going to be digital on that thing, on that implantable or subdermal device that's they want to come out with in the near future that we're seeing right now. So let's tie this all in together. We see again what's happening with the woman. She refused to do something, right? Because she believes in something, because of medical reasons, because of her heart. She doesn't want to take the yab. Therefore, they said what? No yab, no heart. You don't do this. We don't do this for you, right? A transaction, right? So if she didn't do this, since she didn't do this, she is now separated from the whole of society. She doesn't have access to the medical benefits that other people have if they've taken the yab, right? Sorry. Right? And this is how he is. We see right now how the elites are forming or fashioning the minds of the people. They have created this, as the article said, this C era now, right? To where it's like, hey, for certain places, if you don't take this thing, you're going to be cut off from society. You're going to be cut off from the medical benefits that other people have in society. So now because they have created this problem in society, and they have now brought also the solution, right? This is how they are forming and constructing the minds of the people and society to what they want to be, so that way they can get all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to get or to receive that yab, right? For right now, that's how we're seeing it right now with this right now, this yab, right? Like I said, no yab, no heart. But in the near future, it's going to be for a small implantable device that's like the grain, like the size of a rice grain, that they want to put in in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Because the yab is not going in your forehead right now. And that verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And when you go into that, no man might buy, again, transactions. The word there for buy is agorazo. I believe the root word there. Okay. Says to be in the marketplace, to attend, to do business there, to buy or sell, right? So when you're at the agora, you're doing transactions, you're buying or selling. So if you don't have this small implantable device in the near future, you won't be able to be a part of the whole of society, which is able to buy and sell, to perform transactions, to have what they would deem a normal, what's going to be the new normal in life. Because if you don't have this small implantable device, it doesn't matter. It could be in your, as brothers sometimes jokingly say, it could be in your ass cheek. It doesn't matter. But primarily where they want to put it is in your right hand or in your forehead. I forgot the reason as to why they want to do that. Specifically that. I think it has something to do with heat. It charges it up. But I'm not going to speak on that because I don't fully know that. But damn, I lost my train of thought. Damn it, I need a new brain. Salakia. Right. If you don't take this thing, you're going to be separated from the whole of society, and you won't be able to get a job. You won't be able to partake in society. Therefore, you will be separated from society. Unless, like we go back and says, like it goes back and says, and that no man might buy or sell save, another word for save, or the modern word for save would be what? Unless. So really it's saying that no man might buy or sell unless he had the charagma. So unless you have this thing, you're not going to be a part of the whole. You're not going to be a part of society. Now, yes, they will eventually mandate it, that you must get it, and then that's where the killed part, the actual physical killing, but the other part of the killing is not being a part of society. And we see that example with this woman right here. This is why we go into articles, because it makes it easy for us to explain what the scriptures is saying, to break it down to people, so that way they can be warned. That way the sheep can be warned and say, okay, I see what it's saying. That's why we are the shepherds to what shepherd the sheep. I believe that's Jeremiah 3:15. I will give you pastors and preachers according to my heart, that will feed you with knowledge and understanding. And that's what's, through the Spirit is happening right now. So again, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's it on the article. Just want to go into this article that I found. Just basically explains perfectly what's going to happen, or what John the Revelator saw on the island of Patmos when he received this vision. That we're seeing a prelude to that right now. The woman, Vicky, she can't, no yab, no heart. You don't take the yab, you don't get no heart. It's the same thing that's going to come down with what John the Revelator saw in the vision. You don't take that charagma, you're not going to be able to partake in society. And then with going back to verse 15, not just being separated from society, but also what? If you don't take it, that's where Revelation 20:4 comes in, the beheading. Right? So, pray that this video is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory, as always, to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.